Mars, aliens or not. I think Spoonie's from Mars, huh?
No. Chef, I'm from Uranus. Sheesh.
Hey now, Spoonie. 1999, 23 years ago today, December 3rd, 2022. NASA, never a straight answer.
You was a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Loses radio contact with the Mars Polar Lander. Moments before the spacecraft enters the Martian atmosphere. Now, the rumor online is that Spoonie's uncle shut the Mars Polar Lander down.
Lies, lies, and more lies, and lies on top of lies.
Say it ain't so, Spoonie. Say it ain't so.
What a character. The Mars Polar Lander, also known as the Mars Surveyor 98 lander, was a 290-kilogram robotic spacecraft lander launched by NASA on January 3, 1999, to study the soil and climate of Planum Australe, a region near the South Pole on Mars. It formed part of the Mars Surveyor 98 mission. On December 3, 1999, however, after the descent phase was expected to be complete, the lander failed to re-establish communication with Earth. A post-mortem analysis determined the most likely cause of the mishap was premature termination of the engine firing prior to the lander touching the surface, causing it to strike the planet at a high velocity. The total cost of the Mars Polar Lander was $165 million. Spacecraft development cost $110 million. Launch was estimated at $45 million, and mission operations at $10 million. Back to Chef.
Thank you. Hope you have the holiday cheer I have, and you're passing it along like I'm trying to. Now, the next part about the Martian atmosphere. When I was a youngin', they taught us Mars had no atmosphere. However, here's Spoonie with more on this subject. Oh yeah, remember, carbon dioxide, the percentage. I'll explain why after.
My cousin says nano. The atmosphere of Mars is the layer of gases surrounding Mars. It is primarily composed of carbon dioxide, 95%, molecular nitrogen, 2.8%, and argon, 2%. It also contains trace levels of water vapor, oxygen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and noble gases. The atmosphere of Mars is much thinner than Earth's. The average surface pressure is only about 610 pascals, 0.088 pounds per square inch, which is less than 1% of the Earth's value. The currently thin Martian atmosphere prohibits the existence of liquid water on the surface of Mars, but many studies suggest that the Martian atmosphere was much thicker in the past. The higher density during spring and fall is reduced by 25% during the winter when carbon dioxide partly freezes at the pole caps. The highest atmospheric density on Mars is equal to the density found 35 kilometers, 22 miles, above the Earth's surface and is 0.020 kilograms/m3. The atmosphere of Mars has been losing mass to space since the planet's core slowed down, and the leakage of gases still continues today. The atmosphere of Mars is colder than Earth's. Owing to the larger distance from the Sun, Mars receives less solar energy and has a lower effective temperature, which is about 210 K, minus 63 degrees Celsius, minus 82 degrees Fahrenheit. The average surface emission temperature of Mars is just 215 K, minus 58 degrees Celsius, minus 73 degrees Fahrenheit, which is comparable to inland Antarctica. The weaker greenhouse effect in the Martian atmosphere, 5 degrees Celsius, 9.0 degrees Fahrenheit, versus 33 degrees Celsius, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, on Earth, can be explained by the low abundance of other greenhouse gases. The daily range of temperature in the lower atmosphere is huge due to the low thermal inertia. It can range from minus 75 degrees Celsius, minus 103 degrees Fahrenheit, to near 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, near the surface in some regions. The temperature of the upper part of the Martian atmosphere is also significantly lower than Earth's because of the absence of stratospheric ozone and the radiative cooling effect of carbon dioxide at higher altitudes. Dust devils and dust storms are prevalent on Mars, which are sometimes observable by telescopes from Earth, and in 2018 even with the naked eye as a change in color and brightness of the planet. Planet-encircling dust storms, global dust storms, occur on average every 5.5 Earth years, every 3 Martian years, on Mars and can threaten the operation of Mars rovers. However, the mechanism responsible for the development of large dust storms is still not well understood. It has been suggested to be loosely related to gravitational influence of both moons, somewhat similar to the creation of tides on Earth. The Martian atmosphere is an oxidizing atmosphere. The photochemical reactions in the atmosphere tend to oxidize the organic species and turn them into carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. Although the most sensitive methane probe on the recently launched ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter failed to find methane in the atmosphere over the whole of Mars, several previous missions and ground-based telescope detected unexpected levels of methane in the Martian atmosphere, which may even be a biosignature for life on Mars. However, the interpretation of the measurements is still highly controversial and lacks a scientific consensus. Happy holidays and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.
To answer the question, Earth has 1% of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is what cars produce as well as humans when they exhale. Plants wash this out our atmosphere. Now, since the industrial age, we as humans increase the carbon output, which is not uncommon when you produce more land to live and don't replace these filters. The increase over the last 100 years or so has increased by 40%. Not the first time in history this has happened either. There are many theories why. However, not the point I'm making today. What is your point? What's all the interest in Mars? When we as people get to Mars and start planting filters, aka plant life, trees, so on and so on, then reduce the carbon dioxide output in the atmosphere, then it will, in theory, start producing oxygen enough for human beings, us, to breathe. So the next time you think $40 million over 10 years is a lot of our taxpayers' money to spend to expand humanity, think about this. That is 0.003% over 10 years of what the government spent. Hell, their budget in the kitchen alone to feed the president breakfast is over $10 million over 10 years. So, think about why. Secret Service, staff, aides, Congress, senators, outside checks to keep tabs on them. Oh, wait. I'm just going to run their name through a computer to see what their credit's about. I'm going to watch them. That stuff. And people want to complain about 0.003. If you look into those numbers just for breakfast, you might have a heart attack. Now, that's been Chef Nobby reminding you, if you don't learn from your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And always remember this. It's about personal growth and development. No.